We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an exciting morning, afternoon, wherever you're located. You're live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. I've got Ms. Jackie Huba, founder and executive director of Drag Out the Vote, a nonprofit worth knowing about. We're going to go deep about all the details about Drag Out the Vote. She's an author, keynote speaker, keynote TEDx speaker, and above all, she's a fabulous, classy lady. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for joining us here on Power 98.5. How you been doing since coming back from Hawaii?
You've been doing your research on my Instagram. Yeah, I've never been there, and after the year we've had with the election and working overtime, I just was like, it's the pandemic, but I need a break. And I had a friend who's going there and whose family lives there. So it was absolutely amazing.
How long has Drag Out the Vote been, or is it just recent?
So I had the idea for it back in 2017, just the inklings of it, but I actually started it in 2019. In the summer of 2019. So we've been around for just over a year, and now it was just an idea I had, but now we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and I don't think I ever could have imagined when I came up with this crazy idea to have, drag artists from all over the country working on getting out the vote to what we did this year with our team is I never would have imagined it. It's mind blowing, actually.
What are the goals that you have set for Drag Out the Vote? And are you planning on taking this nationally, internationally? Are you going to be bringing in other people or divisions in other states?
Well, I started it as I've been in the sort of drag industry, I guess you could say, in the U.S. for about 7 years. I wrote a book on drag, and I interviewed a lot of the drag artists from RuPaul's Drag Race. RuPaul gave us a quote for the cover, and I know the touring companies, everybody. And I've never been an activist in my entire life. So, but after 2016, I realized that 100 million people didn't vote. 1 in 5 LGBT people are not registered or did not vote. And I realized there was a lot of people who were not participating in democracy. And so in 2019, I was thinking, I became a local activist in Austin after 2016, but I wanted to do something big, something national. And I thought, I know everyone in drag, in the drag industry in the US, and there's local artists all over the country. What if I could just sort of mobilize everyone in drag to help get out the vote, especially for LGBT people? How could I do that? And so that's where it started. And I have some good friends who are stars from Drag Race who I partnered with. And our goal in 2020 was to get out as many people as we can, young people, to vote. And that's what we did. And we recruited 300 drag artists in 44 states to also get out the vote in their cities and states. In the fall, we text banked over 500,000 voters. to get them out to vote as well with volunteers from all over the country. So 2020 was an amazing year. And I think the challenge going forward is that there's an election every year, but people only think about presidential elections. So our challenge for 2021 is to register more people, but also educate people on what is going on in their cities and states, what elections are going on, and why they need to really participate in democracy. I mean, we're nonpartisan, so we're not advocating for any, candidates or parties. It's really about participating and making your voice heard.
I would like to share a little video clip that was posted on November 2nd on Drag Out the Vote. It was an incredible video by, it's Shangelas, if I'm saying her name correctly.
I'm trying to think who that is.
Divas for Democracy, Shangela.
Oh, Shangela.
Is that how you say it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry for messing that up and chopping.
Oh, no worries. No worries. I'm trying to think which one. Yes, Shangela from RuPaul's Drag Race. Yes, Divas for Democracy was a star-studded Get Out the Vote effort we did with top Broadway stars matched up with top stars from RuPaul's Drag Race, and it was an hour-and-a-half event, a fundraiser, as well as a Get Out the Vote event, and I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
Oh, hi. Yes, honey, it's me, your girl, Shangela. Say what? I started as a baby, now I'm all grown up. I'm all grown up, and it seems like you have caught me in my kitchen in the middle of cooking. Y'all know I'm lying. I ain't got no food in there. Listen, what I really want to say is welcome to a fantastic refreshment break. Join me, shall you? Oh, yes, you shall. Come on. Look, we didn't go nowhere right here. Listen, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a tasty drink that reminds me of how to look for a great candidate. Now, when I look at a great candidate, I look for specific things like diversity, someone who values diversity, someone who values honesty, and someone who values leadership. Ooh, yes, all those three good qualities make not only a wonderful candidate, but also a tasty drink. Let's do it right now. So, in order to make this drink that I like to call the candidate, I'm going to start by putting a little ice in the blending machine.
I love it. She just goes on and on and on, but very, very detailed. But that's the support that you're looking for and that you want.
Yes, I have to say these drag artists who really have the ones from Drag Race have huge followings. Shangela was on All Stars, came in second. And so she has great influence. And so we work with not only the local drag artists around the country, but also kind of big stars like Shangela, to help. And they have such young followers, of the show. And so these drag artists have these fans who follow them on all of social media. So we use them a lot to register people, to get them out the vote. And again, this was a little kind of a fun, quirky, again, we're nonpartisan, so she's talking about like what she looks for in a presidential candidate in a very nonpartisan manner. It was really, really cute, and that was for our big Divas for Democracy event that we did.
Do you believe it's the warmth and the understanding of really Drag Out the Vote, the mission, who you are, what you're doing overall, not just in the LGBT community, also known as the LGBTQ community, but are you proud of what you've accomplished within a year plus and now continuing going forward into 2021?
I mean, it is amazing what we've been able to accomplish. And, we had a really small team, basically our agency, who worked for very little money. It was very tough fundraising this year. So people worked overtime. Our fundraising and developmental strategist, who had both of those things on his plate, not only raising money, but also working with politicians. We had 2 interns. I mean, we did so much. People, I think, were so committed because they knew that this was the most consequential election of probably any of our lifetimes, that we had to work really, really, really hard. And with these 300 drag artists from all over the country who volunteered their time to, register voters and get out the vote in their communities, it was amazing. one of the things that I think was really influential for us as well is we developed historic partnerships with the top election officials in a number of states. So that would be the Secretary of State. So we partnered first with the California Secretary of State, Secretary Padilla, who in his press release talked about the historic partnership between a Secretary of State and a drag artist-led organization to help get out the vote. And he did videos for us, and I don't know if you've seen, but he just got nominated to fill Senator Kamala Harris's seat in the Senate. So he has an important new job from being the Secretary of State of California. So we have Secretaries of State from Rhode Island and from Michigan and other states who I think really gave us a lot of political credibility in that, we are an organization that is turning out the vote and using the influence of all of our drag artists all over the country to do that.
For those who are just tuning in, I have Jackie Huba, who is the founder and executive director of Drag Out the Vote, an incredible and most, I'm going to say, leading into, if not already, a prestigious nonprofit 501c3 that is making headlines across the world on social media with people that are true allies and advocates for what Jackie is doing and what she's wanting to accomplish. She's a successful keynote TEDx speaker. And once again, I will continue to browbeat a classy, sophisticated woman that we need in the world right now that's not only creating and trend setting, if it's even a trend, I'm going to say a monumental movement that we really need right now, what we all have been looking for. I'm going to tell you, I've been looking forward for someone like you, Jackie, that's creating a impactful, Popeye powerful punch to break through what I've been hoping for in the last 3-4 decades. I'm 46. I'll be 47 in April. So since I can remember, I really appreciate what you're doing in a world, what you're doing in a community, and what Drag Out the Vote is all about and how you're touching people in their lives. Share with us a bit or a lot about the recent experience with the New Georgia Project. The lineup is incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we kind of, I don't know if we pioneered this, but I mentioned we texted over 500,000 voters this election season, working with state partners in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan and other states. But the way we do text banks is they're actually drag shows. So we have we'll do online text banks where we bring volunteers in. We set them up with the texting programs from our state partners. And then while you're texting, you watch online live drag. So it's entertaining, but you're also doing, your duty for democracy to help get out the vote. And so when we saw that the Georgia Senate race, needed some attention from everyone because it's a very important Senate race, we partnered with our friends in Georgia, the New Georgia Project, which is actually an organization that was started by Stacey Abrams. She's now with Fair Fight, but this was one of the organizations that she had started. And one of our drag ambassadors works at New Georgia Project, which is incredible because we've been working with him as Bentley, but his drag persona is she, SHI. And so we formed a partnership and we created a giant celebrity text bank that was just incredible. And at the same time, John Cameron Mitchell, who is legendary, obviously, as the person who created Hedwig and the Angry Inch, also had come to us at the same time wanting to do something for Georgia. So we partnered with him. He helped us and actually directed our entire event with co-hosting with Michelle Visage, and she's actually an Emmy Award winning producer of RuPaul's Drag Race, as well as being a longtime judge. And drag talent, we had winners from Drag Race from Alaska to Sasha Velour to Bob the Drag Queen was actually part of it, and Jinx Monsoon. We had Peppermint, Bretta Filter. We had it was amazing. We had messages from Patti LuPone, from Glenn Close. We actually had limited spots, and it we maxed out our volunteer spots literally in, I think, 24 hours. It was quite amazing. But in that event alone, we texted 110,000 Georgia voters to remind them that early voting started on December 14th and for them to make sure to get out and vote. So it was just absolutely a huge success. So many great artists lending their talents and so many great volunteers who actually, a lot of them had been texting with us the entire election season. So that was so much fun, a lot of work, but a really successful event.
The list is huge. Once again, those that are tuning in, the importance of Drag Out the Vote, you go to the website. I'm on dragoutthe.vote/press. You go down a list. I have not seen a list of press media the way Drag Out the Vote has. To name a few, and believe me, the numbers that I'm going to give you, the count, pales in comparison to the list. You actually have to scroll, and you will continue to scroll for a very long time to see the traction and support. We've got the Forbes, Advocate, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Outfront, Instinct, Entertainment, Yahoo, Associated Press, V Magazine. The list goes on and on and on, and the importance that Drag Out the Vote of what is happening here in Jackie Huba is incredible. And I encourage everyone that is listening now, who will continue to listen to this episode. I'm a huge supporter, and I'm going to continue, and I told that to Jackie already. I will continue. Power 98.5 will continue. I want to help get the word out. I want to help anywhere and everywhere I can, and I want to do that free of no charge. Why? Because this is worth doing something, the bigger picture, people's lives. You can't put a price tag on someone's life, their sanity, their health, especially during a climate of what we're living in right now. Drag Out the Vote. Jackie Huba is what we need. Jackie, what's the best and most powerful memory, highlight, moment you have had since the inception of Drag Out the Vote?
Oh, wow. That is such a great question. I think, I don't know if there's one that is the top, but one that kind of just sticks with me is that, drag artists have always been at the forefront of the, equality fight for the LGBTQ community. And since Stonewall, where trans women of color and drag artists were the ones throwing the first brick and saying, no more. And then during the AIDS crisis, we had the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence out of San Francisco, who were fighting for awareness and for all of that. And so all we did, at Drag Out the Vote was really provide more, but maybe for the first time, a national platform for drag artists. We gave them all the tools that they needed to register voters. We gave them content. We gave them QR codes to register people in person that were contactless, to really just take the power of drag artists to the next level in terms of affecting our democracy. And, we recruited drag ambassadors to come out and be, folks to inspire their community to get out and vote. And what we saw, I remember one drag artist said to me that there was a community that was created, and that they had actually created great friends to this day because they all were part of this community of drag ambassadors. And we would do Zoom kikis where we would bring them all together and talk about, what we were all trying to accomplish and answer any questions they had. We had a Facebook group where everybody could join and talk to each other. And they told us that they made actually lifelong friends who are going to continue to fight together for all the things that we need to fight for. And I was so touched by that because, people are forming these relationships that we didn't even, I don't know, I guess we didn't anticipate how much it would change people's lives personally for the drag artists themselves. And that was just, it just made my heart sing.
On the About page on Drag Out the Vote, I love the photo of you in the American flag. That dress is a knockout. And you wore the dress. The dress did not wear you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, what's so funny is that, I identify as a cis heterosexual woman, but because I wrote this book in drag about drag called Fiercely You that came out in 2016, I started learning about drag in 2013, and I wanted to sort of help people understand like how drag artists put on these powerful personas and the psychology behind it, and what we, especially as women, can learn in everyday life about building this sort of like bold persona that you can use when you need it. That's very similar to what drag artists do. So I had to do drag, which I think a lot of people didn't realize that women can do drag, and of course they can. But it's kind of a male-dominated art form. So I have a drag persona named Lady Trinity, and I learned how to do all the makeup, and I lip-synced, and I performed at Austin Pride. I performed a little drag in my TED Talk, and so I love getting up in drag. It is amazing. And that shot was our very first fundraiser in January in Minneapolis before COVID, when we could actually get together. We had, I think, 18 drag artists from Drag Race there who all donated their time. We had another, I think, 15 drag artists from Minneapolis, so 30 total, I believe. And this dress, I love this dress so much. And it was actually made by Perry Meek, who is the Emmy Award-winning costume designer for Lady Gaga and many other celebrities. And I just happened to know him, and I said, Perry, I need something fabulous that says vote on it for this year. And that's what he came up with, and I love it. It's fantastic.
There's two things that I would like to share with you of what I'm witnessing about who you are, Jackie. Is one, Drag Out the Vote is bigger than what you're just doing right now. It's huge. You know, Drag Out the Vote is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that works with drag performers to promote participation in democracy. We educate and register voters at drag events online and offline by organizing local and national voter activations. Led by fierce drag kings and queens across the nation, we advocate for increased voter access and engagement in 2020 and beyond. You are a mother, you are a sister, you are a neighbor, Jackie. You are a president-elect, okay? I see you as many, many roles for different people, for what God, the universe, anything and everything that you believe in, even yourself. It's what I see in you. When I look at you, I see a sister for me, and I also see a mom. And the reason why I also see a mom is not just because both my biological and my mom who adopted me, both of my mothers are no longer here. But even if someone does have a mother, you fulfill, there's this non-judgment that we really have been wanting for so long and still pushing so hard. A woman that I see that is in you is just objective, non-judgmental. And that's something that is worth more than gold. And also, in addition to Drag Out the Vote, for the nonpartisan, helping in presidential elections, I see this as a community-driven way to help people identify with who they are and who they are in their role in this world, that will help take precedence for Drag Out the Vote even larger for 2021, Jackie. The reason why I say this is because it really boils down to identity and placement and how someone feels their worth in this world is. And I believe that's why a lot of people have lacked voting. I will be honest, Jackie, I have lacked voting in the past because I had felt at times that my vote didn't matter. I felt and believed that Congress and Washington, D.C. were going to do what they were going to do anyway. People were going to get what they wanted. And this is the first year. I'm 46. This is the first year I have ever in all of my life, Jackie, seen people say, you know what? I am not putting up with this shit anymore. I am going to hold myself and what I can do of great value, and I'm doing something about it now. And this is more than just a one time a year, Jackie. This is an all year round 365 day campaign that you've got on your hands that no one is doing?
Oh, well, thank you for saying all that. I really appreciate it. I do hope that a lot of people have realized that, democracy is something that we shouldn't take for granted, and we have to fight for it every single year. And, I'm 55. Like, I think I mentioned to you earlier, I've never been an activist. I think that maybe I voted every 4 years in a presidential election, then that's it. I didn't do anything else. And I've certainly learned a lot about how our democracy works, about how important a mayor's election is, judges' elections, governors' elections. You can see over the past 4 years, maybe in your state, depending on where people are, the importance of having competent leadership, for your city, for your state, for your legislature in your state. It's really important. And those elections occur every single year. It's not just every 4 years. And so I've seen many people like yourself who maybe weren't really as engaged in and me as well, not engaged. And so I think I think a lot of people have woken up. And it's always been the power. The people have always had the power. But I think maybe we got complacent. Certainly our four brothers and sisters in all the civil rights fights have always known that the power is in the voice of the people. So I hope that these last 4 years have really helped people understand that when people unite, there's really nothing we can't do. So I'm excited to keep going and keep going. I mean, we've had historic voter turnout this year. And I just hope we can keep that going.
I believe 2021 will be the same and most likely continue. People have had enough, Jackie. They've had enough.
Yeah. I'm trying to be nonpartisan, Stephen. But yes, I mean, you just have to look at rights being rolled back for trans people. Violence against trans women of color continues. We've had just all kinds of things have gone backwards in terms of climate change. This administration's response to climate change has gone backward. I mean, so many things that we, have need to be addressed. And so I think that we need to continue to fight, no matter who's in office. Again, it isn't just the president, right? There's so many things going on at the state level and city level that we need to care about. And so hopefully everyone will be educated. And that's in 2021, that's going to be our goal for Drag Out the Vote, is to, especially with our drag ambassadors, because our drag ambassadors are leaders in their own city, right? And so they know a lot of people in the community. They have a lot of influence in the community. I think in San Francisco alone, we have probably, I want to say, at least 20 to 25 drag ambassadors there. And they united this whole year to put together events. They were out in the streets registering people, but they know the local things going on in San Francisco and in California. And so they can speak to those things better than anyone at our level, sort of at the national level, can. So we're really going to rely on, and we were actually recruiting. So if there's anyone listening who is a drag artist, we are going to be opening up our applications again for drag ambassadors in 2021. So we have 300 now, but we hope to expand that to a lot more.
Two topics I really hope Biden and Kamala Harris end up doing is, there's a big problem here. And I'm going to be very transparent. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I wish Obama took care of this big problem we have. One, discrimination is still legal in 36 of our states. If you are perceived to be gay or of the LGBT community, 29 states can legally refuse service to you over that. I don't understand why this is still existing. This is a problem. And I really hope that, once again, President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris resolve this issue. I'm going to be very transparent here. I don't believe they will. I don't know why they haven't. I don't know why it hasn't been done yet, since people want to talk about equality and everything else. But this is a big problem. Discrimination is legal in 36 of our states, and LGBT people can be refused service in 29. Texas is one of them that can refuse service to you. Pennsylvania is on the list of one of the states that still has can discriminate against you. Big problem. Big problem. And
sorry.
No, go ahead, Jackie. This is your time.
Well, no, I was just going to say, you're absolutely 100% right. And there was just a survey that came out, and I don't have the numbers, but the majority of our population in the U.S. does not know that these protections are not in place. So that's part of the problem. I think because there's been marriage equality, there are a lot of people in this country who think that LGBTQ people are protected in job employment or so many other ways. And as you said, they're absolutely not in these states. And what we need is the Equality Act to pass. So, we did see that the House has the House did pass the Equality Act, which has all these protections in it. And of course, the Senate did not pass it. So what I am hoping is that in a new administration, that act can be brought back up and that it will pass. I know you're skeptical. I do have a lot of hope that it will pass. Now, what is important is that the Senate, we have senators who will pass that. And so I'm going to take off my drag out the vote hat for a second so I can be a little partisan. The Senate, you need senators who are going to vote for that. And so that's why the Georgia election is really, really important because we have 2 Senate seats up. And if we don't win this, I say we, if those 2 Senate seats go a certain way, we might not be able to pass something like that. So it's really important for everyone in Georgia to get out and vote. If you care about LGBTQ equality, it's really, really, really important to get out and vote.
And to let everyone know, and I'm going to be transparent with this, Jackie will reference the LGBTQ. That doesn't bother me. For me, I will not add the Q on there. I come from a generation to where I cannot get it out of my mind. The word is I still consider it derogatory. So to my fellow brothers and sisters and family in the LGBT community, when you don't hear me add that or anything else on it, I just want to keep things simple. And to add to that is we have gone through enough with labeling and identification. I would like for our community to look and reference each other for what our name is and eventually drop the LGBT, because we don't need to define ourselves by any labeling. That's what's gotten humans in trouble in the first place when it came to let's go ahead and have gender. Let's go ahead and do these sense things, whatever you want to call. I can't even think of the word, but let's go in and do audits. Let's find out who's black, who's white, who's Latino, who's Indian. I hope we get into a world where we can just look at each other for Jackie is Jackie, Steven is Steven, RuPaul is RuPaul, and drop all of these additional identifications, because I don't even identify myself as LGBT, LGBTQ. I am Steven Cuoco, and I do public relations and radio. I own a satellite radio station. Jackie Huba, she is a successful keynote TEDx speaker, and she is the CEO and founder of Drag Out the Vote, where she's making a difference. So I just want to preface that. And speaking of making a difference, Jackie, and you can interrupt anytime because this is all you. This is your time. Can people still donate, and will that help to start donating now before next year's election?
Yes, thank you for saying that. We rely on donations from people to do what we do. It's been a really very, very tough year this year. So we appreciate everyone who's donated. We have some grants we've received, and we have some really special corporate partners who have supported us. But in 2021, it's going to be even more important. I think that people might not think that a political organization such as ours might need as many funds in 2021, but we absolutely do, because that truly that's how we survive, is through donations. So if anyone goes to dragoutThe.vote, you'll see a big donate button at the top. You can donate. You can give recurring monthly donations, which would be amazing. So anything that I have to say, it's a very tough time out there for everyone. And so asking for money is really challenging because people are hurting. And so, if you can't give, that's absolutely, of course. But if you're in a position where you can support organizations such as ours, we would absolutely love it.
And also, if I may add, Jackie, challenge the community, challenge the people that do have money, because I looked at the stock market numbers today, and I know they're over 30,000 points. People have got cash. People got expendable cash. They have passive cash out there. So instead of it sitting in a bank, you can do a minimum of $5 to donate. $5, one time or monthly. Okay. So if you're able to buy new iPhones, which we know a lot of people have done. People have bought a lot of PlayStation 5s that are $500 plus additional remotes and everything else. $5. We're talking about the future of our people, of our community, of our nation, our family, your children, the future of children, grandchildren, friends. This world, people rephrase, there's not a problem with the world. It's the people that live in it that have the problem, that not only need help, but need support. People don't belong to stay at the bottom for their entire life, especially when all a person wants to do is be happy, to live happy and healthy, and to feel safe. And that shouldn't have to cost anything. And it shouldn't have to cost people who are in politics or Washington, D.C., who can make a difference. And I'm going to say this, and I know it goes on every year, and that's the other reason what prevented me from voting, Jackie, is the deplorable spending of millions and billions of dollars going to foreign countries. When why is that not helping people here, especially with the crisis of mental health, homelessness? So before trying to fix someone else's problems across the borders, our people, our communities and cities and states need help. So, Jackie, love you and adore you and support you, and I don't use those words loosely. I have no problem to tell people, donate at least $5. Take a break from your Starbucks. Donate. It costs nothing to help someone else. If you are out there helping someone that really doesn't need it. Like, you need a PlayStation 5? You really need to have your Starbucks today? I'm skipping my Starbucks. I got a coffee machine downstairs. There's no excuse for me not to donate $5. There's no excuse for anyone not to donate anything. Help the future of our people.
Thank you for saying that. And I really appreciate that. And just to remind folks, we are a 501c3, so our donations to Drag Out the Vote are tax deductible.
Any golden nuggets that you would like to add in addition to what you would like to get out there in the world, to the communities, to the people right now, Jackie? I'm going to just say it again, that I just hope people will remember that every year we're going to need to mobilize in every election. And we need people to be educated, know what's going on in their communities, and to get out there and make sure they're registered, make sure their friends are registered, and make sure to be involved and vote. Like I said, there's going to be so many things that as you said, there's so many issues for our community and for the community at large, especially around climate change, they have to be addressed. And the only way that we do that, one, is by protesting or calling your elected officials, making your voice heard that way, but also voting. And so those are the two top things. So if folks want to know what we're doing, they can get on our newsletter. Then go to dragoutthevote, and on the front page you'll see subscribe to our newsletter, and you'll see all the great things we'll be doing on social media. We are Drag Out the Vote. We're going to be launching a lot of stuff in 2021. There's so much work to do, and we hope that people will join us. Drag Out the Vote, conceived in 2017. Drag Out the Vote was born out of one woman's determination to get the LGBTQ plus and allied communities engaged about voting. And this, in addition, if I may add, Jackie, is more than just about voting. It's about identity. It's about safety. It's about freedom. It's about happiness. It's about what the world, the people of our world and that are in our world, our future, the people of our future really are and should not have to be crying for anymore. It should be a topic that we shouldn't have to discuss anymore. But as long as those like Jackie, Huba, that are in this world, you're going to continue to hear it. You're going to continue to know about it until we have resolve. Jackie, any good words you want to close? What were you about to say?
Oh no, I was going to say thank you for highlighting, really like the bigger, really the bigger thing that this is all about. We all have each other, and when we set out to make a difference, we really can. For me, I had an idea. I'm one person. I had an idea, and I took some action, and amazing things happened. And I just want to say to anyone out there, if you ever thought I'm not an activist, what can one person do? You can do a lot. You can do a lot in your community. If everyone steps up, steps forward, takes action, we can make change. And so whatever you're doing in your life, especially when it comes to kind of changing the world to right the wrongs, just take a step forward, take an action. It's going to make a difference if we all do it.
And happy holidays. I see your toy poodle. I used to have one. I love your baby, and all white.
Oh, Miss Bayla. She's been sitting in my lap the whole time so that she doesn't bark at the door of our condo, because she likes to be yappy. So she's been sitting here patiently sitting in my lap during this. So thank you for saying that. She's the best. Beautiful,
beautiful. Once again, Jackie, drop those nuggets again. Drag out the vote. Anything else? We know you've got a book that's coming out. We're going to be getting you back on. We're going to be talking about that. More drag out the vote. Please refresh everyone's memory.
Yeah, as I said, please follow us at dragoutvote for our website, and drag out the vote on social media. So many great things we're going to be doing this year. And again, if you are a drag artist, or if you know of any drag artists who want to join our community, just send them to our website and get on our newsletter, and we will be announcing when the applications for the Drag Ambassador program is going to be opening back up. But we're looking for more folks to join us.
Any closing thoughts and shout outs that you would like to give? Personally, professionally, all the above, Jackie?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for highlighting us. It really helps when people spread the word about what we're doing. So thank you so very much. And I do want to give a shout out to Five Senses Reeling, who was our amazing agency. They're also a drag touring company. Because they couldn't tour this year, they truly donated so much of their time to help us with all of our marketing, and did we literally could not be where we are without them. So Five Senses Reeling is just an amazing organization. So shout out to Jason and Dylan and Rachel and all the folks there.
Jackie Huba, everyone, founder and executive director of Drag Out the Vote, author. She's coming out with another book very, very soon. Are you able to drop the name of that right now, Jackie, or should we just keep it a secret until the big launch?
Actually, I don't have a book coming out, Stephen.
Oh, you don't? Well, I'm going to go ahead and say you do.
Well, let me say, I have 4 books, but the last one, called Fiercely You, that came out in 2016, is available on Amazon if people would like to take a look. The subtitle is Be Fabulous and Confident by Thinking Like a Drag Queen. So if you want to be as confident and fierce as a drag queen, that's where you need to go.
Love it. And you do. I'm putting it out there in the universe, and it's out there. So you have all the permission in the world to give and gift to yourself, Jackie, that when you're ready, another book, I would like to be there. I will bring my camera. I want to get I will have my mask on, and I like to get some great publicity photos, because it's going to be an honor to really meet you in person.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You are welcome. Jackie, hold the line. Thank you, everyone, for joining Jackie Huba live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. Founder, executive director of Drag Out the Vote, author, and keynote speaker at TEDx. She's got some really good golden nuggets. Go to her Instagram. The number one mistake companies make with customer loyalty. Love the video. I actually watched it twice, and I love the breakdown that you offer there. The ladder going up. Very genius, Jackie.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a beautiful day.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.